Hello everyone and welcome to a special bonus episode of Resident Evil 3. We're going to take a look at the minigame The Mercenaries, Operation Mad Jackal. This minigame is unlocked after you beat the game for the first time, and it's similar to the extreme battle mode that we've seen in other Resident Evil games. There are some very important differences though. So, like Extreme Battle Mode, we have a number of different characters we can pick from, and they have their own equipment loadout. Here we have Carlos. Here's Nikolai, and Nikolai has it rough. He only has a handgun and a knife. And here's Mikhail. So, to be honest with you guys, I'm not all that great at Mercenaries mode. I can usually beat it with Mikhail. I can only sometimes beat it with Carlos. And I can almost never beat it with Nikolai. So I am going to play with Mikhail here. These soldiers have lost their edge. They've forgotten what fear and survival mean. It's time for them to remember.
Welcome. The rules are simple. In order to dispose of the bomb implanted in your body, you must reach the target point. Keep in mind that there will be various obstacles in your way, so do not be afraid to use whatever means necessary to reach your goal. Good luck.
Alright, so here's Mikhail. And we want to get to the warehouse, where we started the game with Jill. Alright, now you may notice there's a timer up there. And it's only about 2 minutes. 2 minutes is not enough time to beat this. Not at all. But you're about to see. As we kill zombies, we'll get more time. And as you can rack up better combos, you'll get more and more time. In fact, the more time you can have at the end of the minigame, the higher your points will be. Now that's another thing. Unlike other battle modes, we're going to get scored for this. And the better score we can get, the more points we'll earn. We can use those points to unlock items. Alright. Now you can see Mikhail here is making short work out of just about everything with his shotgun. Which is the reason I really like to use him. But he also has a mag, which is perfect for taking out anything tougher than a zombie. And we are going to run into things tougher than zombies. But he has a rocket launcher. And that rocket launcher, well, that's going to be important. Now, I'm not using any weapons right now, because you actually run a little faster when you're not equipped with any weapons. I usually don't bother with that often, but I figured it might be worthwhile to let you guys know it right now. Now, there are some players that are so good at this, they can just kind of carry zombies along. That's not what I want. There we go. They can use the dodging mechanics to rack up time and just position zombies exactly where they want them. Now, for those of you who watched the full playthrough, this isn't the way to get to the garage. This is the gas station. The gas station is a dead end. Well, there's a reason we're coming over here. Alright. So yeah, I use the Magnum to take out Cerberus because I want them dead quickly. They're trouble. They can really screw you up pretty quick. Ah, did you hear that? That's somebody screaming for help. And my equipment is not handling this very well. Come on, guys. That's not good. Well, that's fine, actually. I don't want to use too many shells. There's, what is that, Dario over there? Yep. Saving Dario nets us 20 seconds and shotgun shells. Dario will not always be here. You have to be able to get here in a certain amount of time. That's not time left on your timer. That's how long you get here from the trolley. There are a total of 5 characters we can save. I'm going to try to save all 5 of them. Alright, now over here is a nice big chunk of zombies. I think there's probably like 7 or 8 of them. Oh, careful now. Now, some of them are not dead, some of them are crawling around. But as far as the game is concerned, that's as good as dead. So we still got points for taking them out. Thankfully, I have most of the enemy placement memorized, so I'm not going to get surprised as often. But your first time through, you might have some trouble. There we go. This guy's annoying, because he's at the top of the stairs, and it's not always easy to get a clear shot at him. That scream, there's something visceral about that scream. No, no, no. No, don't go behind the desk. I don't think that's everyone, though. Nope. That's gonna hurt me as far as time is concerned. That is 2 of our victims rescued. And I want to be careful with my shotgun usage at this point, because we're not going to get any more regular shotgun shells from this point. Actually, this might be a good idea. Again, I'm not running towards the garage, am I? I'm running into this back alley that's a dead end. Why would I do this? Well, because there are certain areas in the game that if you run over to and examine, you earn a few extra seconds. Now that was only 2 seconds. That by itself really isn't worth it, now is it? But each of those areas you find, the points are cumulative. So 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and so forth. Also, that little back alley, if I went in there before rescuing that woman, you would have heard her scream, which kind of tells to me that those areas are connected. Okay. Now. There we go. Yeah, there are 3 Cerberus here. And again, people who are really good at this can kill those 3 Cerberus right by this back door. Enter the back door while still having the bonus for killing all 3 of them. And then kill that enemy to get even higher of a bonus. Okay, now this one gets me sometimes. Okay, but we're still fine. Oh yeah, be quick in choosing to go down the ladder, because your time is still going. And did I get here fast enough? Yep.
Help!
Yeah, we got a few extra seconds for successfully dodging that zombie. Now there's a bunch right behind the corner here. Hope I killed all of them. Yeah. And there's our buddy Brad. And Brad drops us some magnum bullets. So wait, we saved, what, 3 guys already? I think there are 2 more. Now, the hunters around here, they're the big problem. I'm hurt. Okay, there's our second area, and we got 4 seconds for that. Now, I am hurt, and I think if I fought a hunter at this point, it could lop my head off. But hopefully we're going to avoid that. No. Okay, that's more ammo than I was hoping to use. So you saw I put the rocket launcher on, right? That's because the Nemesis is part of this. Now, a single rocket will put him down, but you can see he's not down for the count. And I think I can hit him while he's roaring. So that netted us about 30 extra seconds. And as powerful as the rocket launcher is, I wouldn't really suggest using it anywhere other than on Nemesis. Using a rocket to take out, say, a zombie or a hunter is kind of a waste. And really, a shotgun is what you want to use for zombies, because you can probably take out 3 or 4 of them at a time. Okay. And the spiders are a problem because they can poison you, and you only have so many ways to recover from poison. Okay, this area is a little tough, because I don't always get this right. This is the power station. Yep, and there are zombies in each one of those rooms. What I really want to do is try to get them to come over this way to me. But no such luck. Yeah, come here, you. Oh, nuts. Alright, and over here is our next point. And we got 8 seconds for that. And there's our buddy Marvin. So what did I said there were 5 people we were going to save? That was wrong. Oh, I'm really low on shells. Thankfully, I think these are the only areas with spiders, and therefore the only areas we have to worry about getting poisoned. So while I'm going through this, just try to imagine having to play this as, say, Nikolai or Carlos, and there are different equipment outloads. There's one thing about Nikolai I don't think I mentioned, and that is, even though Nikolai has a knife, when Nikolai kills an enemy with the knife, he gets something like, I don't know, he gets a much higher multiple of time. I don't remember how much, but it's, I think, like 8 times as much time. So, like, as you saw, we're getting like 3 seconds for killing zombies. He'd probably get something closer to 24. Dang it. I want to guess we're about halfway done at this point. Of course you didn't die. Why would you die? Run. Yep, I put the rocket launcher on, which should mean to you, Nemesis. Well, it's not just any Nemesis, it's this tentacled one. And we got 2 minutes for taking him out. Now, really good players can use these barrels around here. I'm not one of those players. But we're not out of the fire yet. Because here comes Nemesis again. Now, we lucked out because he got blocked up by zombies. And we can now take him out with our rocket launcher. Okay, thankfully, that zombie got stuck. Because I do not want to have to try to take out Nemesis with these zombies in the way. Though, there is a benefit to using our rocket launcher around these zombies. It makes it easier to dodge them. And there was our, what, 4th? Yeah, our 4th area. I've got to be very careful with my ammunition. I hear crows. Down that way is the police station, but I don't think there's anything over there worth checking out. Okay. Now, this time I'm not using the rocket launcher because Nemesis is over here. I'm using it because I want to try to get these zombies to come out. And it's supposed to be easier to... It's supposed to be easier to knock them away, but now I just knocked all of them down. And the truth is, I need them up. Come on, guys. I might be able to juke past that one. Nope. Those 4 stragglers in the back. So that netted us just about a minute. Okay, don't bother with these worms. These worms are nothing but trouble. Oh, really? Actually, I might try this instead. No! Damn, I'm not doing good at all now. Don't think that's going to be enough. Alright, these are the frog-looking hunters, and they are a problem. And there's Nikolai. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. Nikolai drops us a first aid spray, and kind of like in the main game, using first aid sprays affects our score. Alright, hang on, this might work. Nope. Alright, move. Don't let the worms get you. So, how many zombies are there out here? Come on. I'll tell you, this happens to me a lot. I get just about to the end, but I'm low on health, low on items. And there was our next area. Now this is going to really be what makes or breaks this. Because down this area, there is not one, but there are two Nemesis with rocket launchers. And yeah. Sometimes the one down here will come charging, sometimes it won't. This is one of those moments where it did not. But hey, I think we did it. Yep. So, one last conga line of zombies. And we are out of shotgun shells. But we rescue Carlos. And Carlos has a special goodie for us. Carlos has enhanced shotgun shells. Only 14 of them, but that should be more than enough for what we need. And we're just around the corner. No, no, no. Run from that one. If I had more Magnum ammo, I would have dealt with it. Oh, good, we got two of them. Alright, come on, you. You remember down here? When we were playing as Jill, we found the shotgun here. Well, that's our final point to earn some extra time. And that nets us more than a minute. So if you can get all of those extra areas, you will rack up quite a bit of time. Alright, this is the last big area. And I say that because there are 3 hunters down here. Now, this is it. We're in the garage. Well, no, we're not in the garage. We're right outside the garage. I can't tell you how many times I would get to this area with no ammunition left, no healing items, and I would just have to try to muscle my way through this last horde of zombies. That's all of them. We are home free. And I think a respectable 7 minutes 50 seconds. Although some people can get here easily over 10.
Well, that was impressive. You have earned your reward. And your freedom.
So you can see that tucked away in the shadows there is Brian Irons, the police chief of Raccoon City. I don't think that means anything. I think that's just what the developers had. You know, they had those character models on hand, so they just used them. Alright, so for this playthrough, we got a time of 7:47 and a grade of A. And we got $1,967. Now, as we rack up points, we can use them to buy those bonuses down there that you see at the bottom. Such as an assault rifle with unlimited ammo, a Gatling gun with unlimited ammo, a rocket launcher with unlimited ammo, and for $9,999, we can get infinite ammo for all our weapons. I, as you can see, have already earned all of these, so during the main game, we got to enjoy using them all. But that's going to do it for Mercenaries. There is one more thing we're going to take a look at, though.
Resident Evil 3.
We're going to look at the epilogues. As you can see, there are 8 epilogue files here. Each time you beat the game, you get a different epilogue file until you've gotten all 8 of them. Each epilogue file is a brief description of what's going on with a different character from earlier in the series. So we're going to take a look at all of them. The epilogue files, I think, were originally Dreamcast exclusive, but when the game was ported over to the GameCube, they were also on here. Now, at the time, this was the most information that we got about these characters. And in some cases, you know, we didn't know whether these characters were around or not, or even if they were actually canonical parts of the story. So let's take a look at Epilogue File 1. After escaping the city, Jill set out to join Chris Redfield. However, all she found was an empty hideout of Chris's. On the floor was Chris's knife. Jill left without hesitation because she firmly believes that Chris is still alive. She will search for him until she finds him. Then they can go and put an end to Umbrella. So in this story, this epilogue, we find out that Jill escaped the city and went to look for Chris. And wherever Chris was hiding, he wasn't there. Now in this epilogue file, we're going to see what happens to Chris. Please forgive me, Claire. Chris Redfield was just finished writing this letter with his signature phrase. As he removes his sunglasses, a lady walks by him with light steps. She looks about the same age as Claire, he thinks. A short time later, Chris discovers that his sister was looking for him, but was caught. So that last part right there, Chris discovers his sister was looking for him, but was caught. It's important because that is going to tie into a future game. Alright, so those of you who are Barry fans, well, this is what he's been up to. Barry Burton looks at his young daughters and says, "I'm sorry, but my comrades are waiting for me." He knows that he must repay his teammates for forgiving his betrayal, even if that means leaving his family for now. His wife tries to hide her fear, so she smiles and says, "Don't worry, we'll be okay." So in this, we learn that Barry is in fact still alive. That's something we didn't know for sure from the end of the first Resident Evil game, although in Resident Evil 3, one of the potential endings you can get is Barry coming to rescue Jill. Leon Scott Kennedy is confronted with a man who claims to be a US government agent. Leon says, "Leave Sherry alone. She is innocent." "She knows too much," the man replies, but looks at Leon and says, "But you have value. This is a good deal. Make your choice." Without regret or hesitation, Leon closes his eyes and then sharply responds. So in this ending, we see that somebody from the US government has come to Leon and is making him some sort of offer. And in future games, we'll find out exactly what that offer was. "Leave us alone." Claire Redfield couldn't believe Leon's words. Leon continued, "You're looking for your brother, right? Just go." Claire knew that Leon and Sherry needed immediate medical attention, but she could not waste any more time. I'll be back, I promise," she said as she disappeared into the wilderness alone. Now, as we know from the ending of Resident Evil 2, well, actually, depending on what ending of Resident Evil 2 you get, Leon was wounded, and Sherry was infected and had to get a vaccine to save her life. So after that, they clearly needed some medical attention, and Claire wasn't the one that could give it to them. But Claire couldn't waste any time. She had to get going and go find Chris. So it seems that she left Leon and Sherry behind. Talking about Sherry, do you have any relatives? When the army officer asked her, Sherry Birkin did not respond, for she had no immediate relatives. Her father and mother died because of the G-Virus. And so, this little girl holds herself within her arms and bites her lip tight. She thinks, "I'm sure she will come back. She won't forget about me." So Sherry is still thinking about Claire. So here are two more characters. Again, we didn't know what happened to these characters, especially not in the case of Ada. A woman looks at herself in the mirror. She used to be called Ada Wong, but this morning she will say goodbye to that name. "I'm not Ada Wong anymore." She feels her ab and thinks, "This is Ada's scar, not mine." As she says goodbye to Ada Wong, she can't stop her tears. However, there isn't much time left before her next mission. Up to this point, we didn't know whether or not Ada Wong was alive or dead. The ending of Resident Evil 2 sort of implies that she is, that she was the one that threw the rocket launcher to Leon or Claire, depending on who was fighting Agent X. But at this point, it's confirmed that she's alive and well, although, is she still Ada Wong? "Once again, you survived, Mr. Death," the chopper pilot speaks with a cold bitterness. "Always, only you survive, Mr. Death," the pilot continues. But Hunk does not respond to the pilot. He doesn't care. The Death cannot die. The survivor thinks to himself with a warm smile. So again, from Resident Evil 2, one of the mini-games was the Fourth Survivor, which introduced us to Hunk. The Fourth Survivor mini-game could have been a part of the story, it could have just been something fun for the game itself. This epilogue file tells us that Hunk is alive and is a part of the story. So there is actually one more, not really an epilogue file that we would see, but there is one more thing. After you beat the game 8 times, you get a congratulation message. Now, normally you cannot see that file again after you've beaten the game all 8 times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find an image of it and pull it up. The Raccoon City menace has come to its ultimate conclusion. Nevertheless, as long as their insidious research continues, the terror of Umbrella Inc. shall live on forever. Thank you for playing. Now that's a secret director's message that will come to you after you beat the game 8 times. So it's just a little something to say thank you for playing, and that the game will continue as long as Umbrella's around. Unfortunately, Umbrella does not stay around. But that's another story for another day. That's going to do it for this bonus episode of Resident Evil 3. Thank you for watching.